So apparently there used to be a bridge here, but it burned in the fire. So we had an early morning ford and we went up a little way so we could kind of walk on grass and roots and stuff and not sink quite so deep, but it was still up to my mid-thigh for a little while, and lots of soft squishy mud on the bottom. Triggering all my phobias. That was awesome, but we made it. Good morning. So we passed the highway that leads into Chester this morning, and we didn't need to go into Chester. There was a guy sitting there at the trailhead with a truck waiting to give rides to people who want to go into Chester. So he took our trash anyway, so that was nice. It's always good to get rid of a couple of ounces of weight. Took advantage of the cell service here to upload a few videos, which gets me caught up, so that's nice. And looking more at fire information. So yeah, I think for the moment, Northern California is looking all right. We're still gonna have to do a skip around the Shelley fire, but it's gonna be a smaller skip than I originally thought. We should be able to walk past the Donamore fire with a small reroute. So that's all good. But Southern Oregon is definitely closed at Mount Thielsen, north of Crater Lake. And apparently there's several more fires burning in the Diamond Peak Wilderness, which are new, and there's not a lot of definitive information yet, but the PCTA has basically marked that area as closed. I'm not sure that Forest Service has actually issued a closure order yet, but seems smart that you don't want to go into an area where there are multiple unknown fires burning. So we might end up skipping from highway, 138 north of Crater Lake, all the way up to highway 58, I think. Yeah, oof. And then Northern Washington is also flambe. There's a closure between Rainy Pass and Harts Pass due to the Easy Fire. The fire that was burning on Lake Chillin is approaching Stehekin, and I think they're now under level 2 evacuation alert. And then there are multiple unspecified fires burning in the Glacier Peak Wilderness, which are not yet well known, but the PCTA has also marked that area, basically everything north of White Pass. That's the northern White Pass that's in the Glacier Peak Wilderness area. Everything north of there is a no-go. So there's going to be a lot of excitement and probably skips, multiple skips in my future, which again is just the nature of through hiking the PCT in 2024 and beyond. This doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. There are multiple contributing factors. Poor forest management practices, fire management practices for the past 100 years. That's definitely a lot of the problem. The climate change, where things are getting hotter and drier, not as much rain in the summer. That is also a problem. Yeah, but it's the It is the new normal. This is what it means to hike the PCT these days. I'm currently walking through some private land near the highway, and they've done a lot of salvage logging, I think, to collect the burned and dead trees, which makes sense, can't argue with that, but does make the landscape look maybe even a little more depressing than it already did. And this is where we're drinking water today. It is tasty. It's actually quite cold because this pond is filled by a spring. And then you can just grab water from here, and it's pretty good quality water, actually. Yes, in fact, we are leet. What up, Mount Lassen? Well, we hung out at the North Fork of the Feather River under a bridge for 2.5 hours, and it was much cooler there than it is out here on the trail for sure. It is, I think my thermometer says 93 degrees, which is a little ridiculous. And right here we still have live trees. The fire, I think, did burn through here a little bit, but it was very low intensity. So we have some shade, but it's still, yeah, still hot. It's after 4 o'clock, so it should start to cool down now. We're gonna hike about another 5.5 miles or so to get to the boundary of Lassen National Park, which is where we will stop for the night.